Do you believe that being nice is the key to being loved? This relentless search for approval can lead you to a dark place, hidden beneath the masks we wear. You might experience a fleeting sense of lightness when you please others, but the reality is that with every smile you offer, a piece of yourself slips away. How many times have you given up your own desires to meet the expectations of others? This is a common trap. We live in a world that values conformity, yet this conformity often leaves us feeling isolated. A profound emptiness settles in. You find yourself surrounded by people but still feel invisible. Here's something you might not have realized. Being pleasant often means erasing yourself. It's easy to lose sight of who you are amidst smiles that don't touch your heart. Are you exhausted? You have good reason to be. The quest for acceptance comes at a high price you've already paid. The pain of conformity is deafening, and what should be a connection morphs into disconnection. Have you ever paused to ask yourself, what price are you truly paying for acceptance? There's a shadow that accompanies the need to please, a pressure that suffocates your authentic self. Often you find yourself wondering, am I enough as I am? What if the pain you feel, this hunger for belonging, is an invitation to return to your true self? We can get lost in the dance of pleasing, but we can also choose the path of authenticity. It takes courage. There comes a moment when you must decide, do I prefer to be loved for who I am or for who I pretend to be? When you embrace vulnerability, the mask begins to melt away. No one can pretend forever. True connection, the kind that touches the soul, doesn't require masks. It's a safe space to be seen and heard. Today might be a good day to reflect on how you've been presenting yourself to the world. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the weight of your silence. What does it want to tell you? By listening to that inner voice, you may find clarity. You deserve to breathe without fear, without feeling trapped by the expectations of others. Choosing to be authentic means embracing all parts of yourself, including your vulnerability. This choice is liberating. By deciding to let go of the shackles that pleasing imposes, you create space for the true essence that has always been there. While the desire to please may distance you from your true self, authenticity brings you back home. Today, take a moment to pause and listen. What does your essence have to teach you? The journey begins when you start to truly listen to yourself. Now pay attention to this truth. Freedom doesn't lie in pleasing others, but in being yourself. Are you ready to unleash your true essence? This is the true journey, and it begins right now. Embrace it. Have you ever taken a moment to consider where this need to please others comes from? That voice whispering that your worth lies in the acceptance of others. It's a shadow that begins in childhood, woven into the small interactions that shape who. Amid laughter and expectations, we hold on to memories that often feel like we want to forget. But what if every memory, every unfulfilled expectation, became a root in your identity? Long ago, you may have been taught to silence your voice to keep the peace. Don't do that. Don't say this. And so, you shaped yourself in the silence of things that shouldn't be left unspoken, in every gesture that sought approval rather than acknowledgement. This triumph of pleasing over being transforms into a subtle form of imprisonment. You become a shadow of others, and this struggle unfolds amid a deafening noise, where, curiously, loneliness becomes your closest companion. Then you wonder, why is it so hard to be myself? That feeling of disconnection hangs over you like a thick fog. You're surrounded by people, yet you still feel invisible. No one hears your tears. And when your words don't come out, your essence gets lost in the voices of others. This happens because you've learned to be merely what others expect. But today, something can change. This strategy of trying to please everyone doesn't have to be your truth. Imagine how it would feel to allow your authenticity to shine. Picture yourself as a tree that, instead of bending to the norms around it, stands tall and proud. Don't diminish yourself. You have the strength within you to confront these shadows. What if what you fear, the judgment, the disapproval, is in fact the key to your freedom. In this moment, pause. Breathe. It's okay not to have all the answers right now. Little by little, you'll begin to find your light. Perhaps that silence you know so well is the very space where you can finally hear your own truth. Close your eyes for a moment. Ask yourself, who am I when no one is watching? And so, you embark on your healing journey. Every scar is a testament to what you've learned. Enough is enough. You no longer need to shrink to fit into spaces that aren't yours. You're not here to please, but to live. Take a moment to look at yourself. What do you see? The raw truth, or a collection of expectations? We live in a world where we wear many hats. The persona is the mask we present while our true essence remains hidden. Have you ever stopped to consider who you really are beneath what others expect of you? Life often comes in layers. Layers of expectations from friends, family, and even from yourself. Everyone has something they expect from you, and in turn, you shape yourself to meet those expectations. It's common to feel that emotional loneliness seeps into the core of who you are. You may feel like no one truly sees you, but you're not alone. Many share this pain. Nobody wants to feel like an onion, right? Layers upon layers surrounding the truth, distancing you from your essence. Now, take a deep breath. Close your eyes and feel. What do you genuinely desire? What do you want for yourself? Reflect on your answers. And for a moment, what if you could peel back those layers? What would remain? What shines on the surface is merely a reflection. What if the pain you carry isn't even yours? It could be echoes of other voices, stories, or traumas. What you do with that pain is what defines your journey. No one can pretend forever, right? Enough is enough. Free yourself from those expectations. True freedom starts when you allow yourself to be authentic. When you ask yourself, who am I, really? As you unravel this tapestry of identity, you might discover a light, one that shines more brightly in the silence. So ask yourself, what if the silence you fear is the only place where you can truly listen to yourself? Consider how you can begin to gently remove those masks. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. It is in confronting your true essence that you find freedom. It is where your real self is revealed. And that true you is enough. It's okay. You don't need to please everyone at any cost. The essence of your being lies in who you are, not in what others expect. Allow yourself to go beyond expectations. The journey may be tough, but every step toward your truth is a step toward inner peace. And remember, your essence is your strength. Embrace the freedom of being who you truly are. Setting boundaries is as essential as breathing. It's a fundamental act of life. But have you ever thought about what it really means to say no? For many people, this simple act turns into a battle. You find yourself there, struggling to meet everyone's expectations. Yet deep down, you feel that your very essence is wearing thin. The truth is that when we say yes to others, we often say no to ourselves. This creates an echo of loneliness, as if you're in a room full of people, yet still feel invisible. How many times have you felt this way? It can be exhausting. This happens when we forget that we have the right to take up space and to be heard. Imagine someone asking you for a favor that your heart doesn't want to agree to. You say yes because you fear disappointing them. But what if that lack of clarity is the reason you feel disconnected? Recognize that true self-love begins with acknowledging who you are, not by diminishing yourself for the sake of acceptance. Take a moment to reflect. In the morning, tell yourself, I am capable. By doing this, you're creating a sacred space where you can refuse what doesn't align with your soul. What would your life be like if you began to make choices instead of letting others make them for you? If the next truth shifts everything, you don't have to carry the weight of others' expectations. Saying no is not an act of rebellion, it's an act of love, a whisper of self-care. Without these boundaries, past wounds may resurface. your sensitivity isn't a weakness. What you may see as vulnerability can actually be your greatest strength. When you allow yourself to be authentic, you begin to heal your own scars. Look around you. Notice the relationships that drain your energy. Do you feel lighter with some people and heavier with others? That feeling is a powerful guide. Eastern wisdom speaks of emptiness as a space for rebirth. What do you truly need to be reborn? Each boundary you set is a way to let life in, not a hindrance. By nurturing these boundaries, you make way for deeper and more genuine connections. After so long seeking validation from outside yourself, perhaps it's time for a fresh start. As you practice this new language of boundaries, you are not just showing respect to yourself. You are creating a life where self-love can flourish, free from ties and expectations. Training your mind to refuse the unnecessary is a crucial step. Feeling free is an act of courage. You deserve to breathe fully. In every no you say, there's a yes resonating back to your authenticity. If this message has prompted reflection, it may be time to jot down the boundaries you wish to establish. What do you want to let in, and what do you choose to keep out? Through this practice, you not only create space to be who you truly are, but also begin to attract what resonates with the truth of your soul. This way, you carve out a safe space where relationships can blossom in freedom. Have you ever felt trapped between what others expect from you and what you truly desire? The invisible pressure to please can be suffocating, a trap that many of us don't even notice. You mold yourself to meet the expectations of others, forgetting who you are in the process. Each time you silence yourself to keep the peace or avoid conflict, a part of you slips away. Here's something you might not have realized. The more you seek external approval, the further you drift from your true self. It's easy to deceive yourself into thinking that pleasing others will bring you happiness. But what if, in that process, you're actually silencing your own voice? What if all the pain you're feeling is a reflection of that internal struggle? It's common to feel anxiety rising when the expectations of others become your new way of life. You might ask yourself, who am I really trying to please? This relentless search for validation that seems just out of reach becomes a source of ongoing pain. And what about loneliness? In that state, your soul feels invisible, as if it's screaming in a crowd that doesn't hear it. Have you ever stopped to consider that there may be an unseen emotional cost in this pursuit of pleasing? Every day, you trade parts of yourself for temporary acceptance. But in doing so, what are you truly losing? The essence of your uniqueness, the ability to love yourself unconditionally. If you feel exhausted, know that it's a sign. You might be living according to others' expectations while neglecting your own needs and desires. It's okay not to know exactly what to do right now. The first step is acceptance, embracing yourself as you are, even when it's difficult. Being kind to yourself can be the start of a powerful transformation. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe. Allow yourself to feel. What emotions are rising to the surface? Take a moment to calm yourself. Listen to what your silence wants to share. It can be your guide, showing you that this pain may be the doorway to a new journey of self-discovery. Have the courage to confront your shadows. They are there, yes, but they need to be embraced. Your quest for approval can create space for authenticity. Stand firm in your own truth and repeatedly ask yourself, how can I free myself from this need for validation? Remember, you deserve to be respected for who you are, not for who others want you to be. That courage to be yourself is the key to liberation. And who knows, that emptiness you feel may transform into fertile ground where you can discover your own light. Have you ever looked in the mirror and not recognized your own reflection? That disconnect between who you truly are and who the world expects you to be is a common shadow in many lives. This shadow often manifests as insecurity or the need to please others. Authenticity is a silent rebellion against conformity. For many, being real is an act of courage. What if your true essence is just waiting to be discovered? Today, I invite you to look within and ask yourself, what is holding you back from being yourself? Often, there is a deep-seated fear that feeds the mask you wear. The lingering question is, who are you without those masks? Yesterday, someone told me, "I'm tired of pleasing others, but it still hurts when I'm ignored." This illustrates how the struggle for acceptance can imprison us. The pursuit of external approval makes us forget who we genuinely are, distancing us from the silence that brings clarity. But here's something you might not have realized. Your authenticity is your true power. Doing what others expect will never lead to true happiness. The resistance you feel when trying to fit in is an echo of your essence, crying out for freedom. By being real, you begin to move away from the shadows that weigh on your mind and heart. If you feel like no one understands you, remember, being true to yourself can foster deeper connections. When you embrace who you really are, you find others who are also seeking truth and are unafraid of vulnerability. You start to see that you're not alone. The path to authenticity isn't easy. Letting go of the desire to please others can bring pain. But this pain is a part of the healing process. No one can pretend forever. It takes courage to face the discomfort of rejection, criticism, and the gaze of others. But remember, it is in silence that the truth reveals itself. Look around you. In a world that often seeks uniformity, the courage to be yourself is an act of rebellion and self-love. You see yourself as unique, not as an outsider. Your fragility is, in fact, a strength. By embracing your vulnerability, you inspire others to do the same. Feeling exhausted? You have every reason to be. No one can carry the weight of being something they're not. So why not? When you wake up tomorrow, look in the mirror and say to yourself, "I am capable. I am true." What if what you feel you're missing is actually protecting you? The most authentic part of yourself resides in that empty space, which is, in reality, full of possibilities. Connect with that space. Let it guide your steps and pave the way for the freedom to be who you really are. Do you feel lost among your emotions? The internal chaos consumes you. Often it feels like you are surrounded by people, but still completely alone. This loneliness is a silent scream. Emotional self-discipline is like fertile soil, where your roots can grow. Imagine this. You're caught in a storm, with strong winds and branches flying around you. Amidst this hurricane, there exists a serene space within you. It is in this space that transformation begins. But how do you cultivate it? The first step is to recognize your emotions. They are like unwelcome visitors. They come and go. What if, instead of fighting against them, you simply observed them? Ask yourself, what are these emotions really trying to tell me? The pain you feel, the unhealed wounds from childhood, do they still hold power over you? It's time to say enough. Enough of allowing the past to define your present. Practicing emotional self-discipline requires courage and patience. With each small moment that you allow yourself to feel without judgment, you strengthen your inner space. Close your eyes for a few seconds. Breathe. Feel the weight of your silence. It has something to share with you. But what if the next truth changes everything? To adopt this discipline, you need to stop seeking approval. No one can pretend forever. If you don't allow yourself to be who you really are, you continue living for others. That pressure can be suffocating. This practice is not a battle against your emotions, but a dance. And like any dance, it requires time and practice. When emotions arise, instead of reacting, ask yourself, what do I really feel? How can I welcome this instead of resisting? This acceptance is the first step toward creating a safe home within yourself. Gradually, you'll begin to cultivate fertile ground. You will see authenticity blossom. In this space, you no longer need to hide your pain. You can nurture it, understand it, and free yourself from it. This is true power. Do you feel that? It is the freedom you've been searching for. This is the journey to live in peace, embracing both the light and the shadows that reside within you. Remember, the safest space is within you. Now, take a deep breath. It's okay not to know what to do right now. Transformation is underway. The journey to becoming who you truly are begins with an invitation to silence. This silence isn't empty. It's full of echoes and meaning. Have you ever felt that there's more to you than you can see? Sometimes, life wraps us in layers of others' projections. Each expectation placed upon you is like an extra weight in the backpack you already carry. The voices of others intertwine, and you find yourself wondering, who am I really? The path of individuation is not easy. It takes courage to look within and confront the shadows, those parts of us we try to hide. Yes, you might feel alone in this quest. Do you know what it's like to be surrounded by people, yet still feel misunderstood? The search for genuine connection can seem unreachable in a world that values superficiality. But here's something you may not have realized. Each moment of pain or confusion can be a starting point. It's a deep signal that you are, in fact, awakening. When your mind is filled with noisy thoughts, it can be challenging to hear your internal truth. What if the silence you fear is, in reality, the only place where you can truly listen to yourself? Imagine yourself in an open field, the wind on your face. You take a deep breath, and in that moment, you feel it. You feel the freedom of being authentic, even if it causes discomfort. It's liberating to know that you don't have to please everyone around you. No finger pointing, no criticism can diminish who you genuinely are. Individuation is a personal process. It's about understanding that your essence doesn't depend on others' approval. Have you taken a moment to reflect on this? True courage comes from accepting that you are enough just as you are, without adornments, without masks. You become resolute. And in this, you begin to reconnect with the child within you that knows instinctively that you don't need to change to be loved. What if it's exactly the opposite of what you've been told? When you release the ties binding your identity to external desires, a new clarity will emerge. It's one step at a time, but each move forward is significant. You can feel an echo of empowerment. You no longer need to live according to how others perceive you. You can simply be, and that is more than enough. It's okay not to know what to do right now. Allow yourself to sit with this uncertainty as you draw closer to your true self. Look within and ask yourself, what do I really want? It may seem like a simple question, but your answers could be profound and transformative. Make this moment an act of self-love. When you wake up, tell yourself, I am capable. Now, seek that space within you. It's where your true strength and authenticity reside. And remember, this journey is for you. It's not about fitting into others' expectations, but about piecing together the fragments of your being. This path might feel solitary, but it is one well worth taking. Transformation begins at the moment you become aware, that instant when you decide to set aside what isn't yours, what isn't truly you, the expectations, the labels, the whispers telling you to be different. This liberation is the fertile ground for the blossoming of your true essence. Today, you might feel the weight of expectation, an inner voice saying, you must please others. But what if true relief lies in clearing that space, in listening to your own being? The silence you fear might just be the only place where you can truly find yourself. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the lightness of the air in your lungs. That is yours. Feel the weight of your silence. It has something to share with you. Are you exhausted? You have every reason to be. The relentless pursuit of approval only drains your energy. Enough is enough. Today, you refuse to diminish yourself any longer. What if by freeing yourself from everything that doesn't belong to you, you could sow true transformation? Imagine a future where authenticity prevails over pleasing others, where you exist for yourself, not for anyone else. When you look inward and acknowledge your wounds, you can begin to heal them. No, you are not weak. Your sensitivity is a sacred space, a place where emotions can blossom. Pain can be a teacher, not a tormentor. Reflect on that. Ask yourself, Is this pain I carry really mine? When you detach from imposed expectations, you reveal your true self. In that state, life becomes freer. Don't just overcome, be amazed. Allow yourself to be light. It may feel daunting, but it's also liberating. Transformation starts to unfold when you decide that your happiness doesn't depend on external validation. Have you ever felt different? Do you know that your essence can shine brightly? It's time to embrace that uniqueness. Why? Because you're here, and that is enough. If this journey resonates with your soul, write in the comments, "I choose to be reborn." It's the first step toward a new life, and perhaps the only one you really need right now. Remember, you deserve to breathe without fear. This is your time.